West Virginia Mountaineers have landed a mammoth tackle, guys, and one of the best in our class. We got to talk about it.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia, where we're diving into West Virginia football recruiting again today for about the 10th day in a row, I think. It's been wild, man. I'm grateful for it, though. I mean, the season's over, but it's really not over, if you get what I mean. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team every single day. The number one sports podcast in the world right now, or the number one sports podcast network in the world right now, and Locked On. So thank you guys so much for being here as we discuss a little bit about West Virginia recruiting, and we're glad to do so. Going to be brought to you by our friends at Game Time. If you want to download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code Locked On College, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Thanks for joining in, guys. Let's jump straight in. Obviously, we're going to be talking about some names to watch in this year's recruiting class. This recruiting class continues to grow, right? And so as we evaluate, so do my favorite players in the class. So we're going to check that out. We may get to a little bit of Neal Brown in this episode, but I've got a full episode for that. As you can tell, I had to hard pivot. I was about to hit play 20 minutes ago on a Neal Brown episode when I realized that Jonas Muya, the player that we just got, was about to announce, and I knew the tea leaves were reading pretty good in our direction here. So decided to pause on that, and I'm glad I did. And thank you, Dylan, for calling and reminding me about that as well, because I'd forgotten that I was going to do a video. So just so much going on right now, and I want to make these two separate videos. So do appreciate that. This is a big get for West Virginia. This is a monster offensive tackle and somebody that is going to need to be reckoned with for sure in this upcoming playing season for West Virginia. I don't think there's any question about that. Actually, this kid can really go, and there's a reason why they went after him as hard as they have this time. I mean, I think they really tried to put the effort in for this one. He's a highly ranked player. We're going to get into that. So let's get into it. 6'7", 6'8", 280 pounds. Chose West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Minnesota, Purdue, and others. He's a late bloomer in football. He's a basketball player by trade before, well, not by trade, but that's what he was trying to get into before football. And having only played seriously here in high school, that means basketball has been his entire athletic career. And that's where his raw athleticism stems from as well, is having that hoops background. Except, remember, I was telling you guys, exceptional footwork, exceptional agility. That's what makes him such an interesting prospect. He is the number 36 recruit in this class now, and he is a crown jewel alongside Kevin Brown. These are two names that you could see for the foreseeable future on the West Virginia offensive line as long as they stick around. So most services highlight his upside, and most services agree he's got potential multi-year starter in the Big 12 with room to add more weight and refine his skills. He's ranked as a top 35, top 40 tackle in the country. Most places would agree. Rivals says that. 247 says that. Mostly, I mean, they're all within the same jumbled. He's anywhere from 36 to 58, depending on where you look. ESPN has him at 62. So he is one of the best offensive tackles in the country. His raw potential probably being the most important thing to note about him. So he's got an elite frame. That's where you start with him. With that, if you want to look at his strengths, it's the height combined with the long arms. You'll see it immediately on tape. We do have a clip or two so you can see exactly what we're talking about. But it makes him a prototypical left or right tackle prospect. And scouts do rave about his ability to engulf defenders with those long arms and he's able to kind of maintain leverage and pass protection that way. The athleticism and the footwork, man, the background basketball translates, and it really does to tackles because the quick lateral movements that he displays and the balance that he displays are impressive, along with the explosive offline get off. Oh, it's so good. He can mirror speed rushers effectively. And in run blocking, he climbs the second level with ease, y'all, with ease. So you'll see that too. He has a high ceiling and he's very coachable. He gave a quote out that's awesome. We're going to read it. He's a relatively new football player, though. He's only got 2 seasons of experience, but he has shown rapid improvement. And at the high school level, there's only so much you can learn before you need to move on anyway. And he had mastered all that. Coaches do note his work ethic and ability to absorb coaching. If you look at some of the articles on what his coaches said about him, one coach projected him as a future NFL draft pick if he gets the right coach to develop him. And then there's the versatility. He can play either tackle spot and probably could slide inside to guard at some point if you really wanted him to. But, I don't think you have to. He's more of an edge protector. It's exactly the perfect kind of edge protector you're going to want in your offense, y'all. Just have to trust me on it. Here he is. As you can see, he stands out as a man amongst boys here, doesn't he? And you can see he gets off the line quickly and engulfs defenders. On this clip here, you can see where he's at right there. As you can see, my mouse clicker follows him from place to place as it is. And it's impressive. He stands out amongst the crowd. As you can see, the agility as he runs to catch up with linebackers and safeties. Here he is on the right side of the offensive line here and just engulfs the defender with those long arms. The flag was on the other team, the text says. Here he is on the right side again on a double team block and does a great job with those long arms, keeping those extended. And in another play here, you can see it's a goal line situation. Great footwork there to move inside. That's exactly what you want with footwork. We didn't have that on the right side of our offensive line this year, y'all. We didn't have it. So, for me, I think that's just a great starting point is to have somebody that can actually move their feet on our offensive line this year. Now, will he play this year? I highly doubt it. He's no Kevin Brown. He's not refined to that point, but he's got similar upside. I don't want to say he's got Kevin Brown's upside either. Kevin Brown's a true freak of nature. But I mean, this kid, I wouldn't be surprised if both these guys were being very highly spoken of 2 years down the road or something like that. This is exactly what you guys have been griping about, right? I mean, in the comments, what I see every day, we're getting a running back. Where's the offensive lineman at? We're getting a receiver. Where's the offensive lineman at? Well, here you go. This is another one to add to the class. This is a solid class now with offensive linemen with 6 or 7. And I think 2 or 3 of these have a chance to be as good as Rich Rod's ever had. So you have to like what you're seeing here with this class being the first class. He's a mover, man. He's a shaker. And the quote he had, oh my gosh, man. Dylan read it to me on the phone. It was great. He said, "Today I proudly announce my commitment to West Virginia football." Hold on a second. Let me put this up while I do this. All right. Just to me, it gives it a little more flavor while I'm reading it. All right. For those of you that can't see the screen, just listen into what I'm reading here. This is a quote from Jonas Muya as he has committed to West Virginia. He says, quote, "Today I proudly announce my commitment to West Virginia football. Coming from far away, this represents a significant step towards the future I've envisioned for myself. I faced numerous sacrifices and trials, including the pain of putting aside my first love for basketball, but I persevered and grew stronger as a result. Each obstacle has fueled my determination to achieve my goals. With honor and unwavering resolve, I commit to West Virginia University. This is the new next chapter. Just take me home, West Virginia." That may be the greatest quote of all time in recruiting history for a commit. With honor and unwavering resolve, I commit to West Virginia University. This is the new next chapter. Just take me home. Hashtag WVU. I mean, that's just incredible. So happy to read that. And what an awesome quote from him. So there's a lot to love about it. There's a lot to be excited about. And hopefully he can continue to give us this. Eli Holstein punched in the face. I don't even know why that's still there, but I like that I still have it. Oh, Lord. So I like this guy, guys. Let's hope West Virginia can get him on the field in the next 2 years and we don't develop him and lose him, right? This is the big thing I'm worried about with this big class we're bringing in. Let's put a pin in this and think about this really quick. In 2 years, how many of these guys are going to be on the roster? You're going to lose probably 30 to 40% of them anyway. But, if you've still got half these guys in 2 years, I think that's a win, right? If you're keeping half of what you bring in every year, you can build with that. As long as it's the good ones. If you're losing all the good ones and you're only keeping the bad ones, then, then that's another story. So we'll keep an eye on it. I think it's a developing story that we will keep an eye on. Let's go to break. After the break, we got some names to watch in this recruiting class. And my X account got hacked, and I need your help. We'll talk about that after the break. This episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by Omaha Steaks. The holidays feel a little bit easier when you already know the perfect gift. Omaha Steaks makes it almost too simple for you. Whether you're treating yourself this season or sending something memorable to family and friends, Omaha Steaks delivers handcrafted perfection right to their door. And this week is the best time to jump in because their cyber sale is here and the deals are huge. Have you ever given somebody an Omaha Steak? Because I've given Omaha Steaks as a gift before, and the reaction is always the same. Excitement. The box arrives and even bigger smiles when everything hits the grill. It's really the variety for me. It's really underrated. Steaks, burgers, comfort meals, sides, desserts. It's one of those gifts that truly fits anyone. And if you want to save on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks, visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and 20% extra off select favorites during their cyber sale. So that's 50% off site-wide and then an extra 20% off for their cyber sale. And then if you want an additional 35% off, that's 50%, that's 20% plus an additional $35 off the promo code. Use the promo code college at checkout. That's a lot of subtractions, guys. 50% off, an extra 20% off select favorites, and then another $35 when you use promo code college. That's omahasteaks.com, the promo code college. Terms apply. See the website for details. In segment 2, I am going to crack a do as we discuss a couple of things really quick. So, once again, Dylan and Chaz clutch for me today. When I broke the Pat White news, by the way, Chaz was a big deal, right? Like, Chaz was the person that put me on to that possibility. And they've always been in my inner circle, and as well as Dylan, who has helped me numerous times in different things. Nobody does anything by themselves, right? I'd never pretend to sit here and pretend like I get all the intel or anything. Like I do. I have people that help as well, right? So I trust them when they call me. And obviously, first thing this morning, I got a call from Dylan, who was a moderator, that told me my account was changed to Soul AI or something along those lines. What's it called again? Soul Sniper AI. So I jumped in two-factor I can't even say the word. Two-factor authenticate the situation and kick them out and change the password. But it's under review now, and I can't change it back to the logo, right? The logo to Mountaineer Paul. So what I need y'all to do is, if you don't mind, please, I'm asking you, please. It's not like I've got the account. It's not like I've lost the account, but it's really annoying because now I'm reporting things and nobody's reacting because they don't know it's me. They think it's some weird person named Soul Sniper AI. I reported this. I was on it. I was refreshing his page. As soon as he went commit, I reported it. Nobody gave it any mind. So if you don't mind, I have a post out. I'm going to put the link to that post in the chat. And if you could do me just a huge favor, please, repost this post, because it basically what you have to do, and I don't know why, you can say it's silly or whatever, but the link is now in the chat. In order to get X's attention on this kind of stuff, you have to tag. If you're a premium member, you have to tag premium, and then you have to tag support, and it'll kind of move your thing up the line. So I haven't lost, contact with my account. I'm still in it. I'm still using it. Just can't change the name back until they approve it, and that's annoying. So if you don't care, I put the link in the chat here. Just go there. I'll also pin it to the top of the comments after the show. If you could all go there and just repost and put help Paul or whatever, so they'll see it faster, it would mean a lot to me, because I use that account a lot. Obviously, I get a lot of intel through it. So thank you. All right, so let's jump into a couple of my favorite people that committed in this class already, because it's funny. Wyatt Brown's dad, I don't think he would mind me saying this. He reached out to me. I didn't reach out to him. He reached out to me. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he reached out to me after Wyatt committed. I did a video on Wyatt, the quarterback. If you guys don't know who Wyatt Brown is, I guess I should probably tell you. So he is out of Notre Dame in Santa Monica High School in California. 6'3", 195, lefty. The kid can really flat out fly and run. 3-star player. But I really love him. I mean, he's truly like, I'm not just saying this. I think he's going to come in like Scotty Fox and take people off guard. I've always felt that way about him. But as other people come in, you forget about people. And his dad was quick to remind me how much I liked him earlier today, because I think Peyton Falzone is the name that a lot of people are high on right now. Just remember, it's not always, and Peyton Falzone could end up being one of the best players in the country. He could be. But I don't want to say that Wyatt Brown can't be either. Just let's not get so caught up in star ratings. If Peyton Falzone comes in, we'll let them all battle it out, and whoever wins, wins. But I like Wyatt Brown too. He's got a lot of talent, guys, and he is a really fast guy. Remember, he can run this offense from not only a spread standpoint, but just from a pure athleticism standpoint. So, just saying, and he's 6'3", 200. So he's a big kid. He can run it. Wyatt Brown, one of my favorite players in the class. He's not one of the only ones, though. Obviously, you got Kevin. Like, some of these people don't even need explanation. Kevin Brown, right? Kevin Brown is obviously going to start day one, and I'd be shocked if he didn't. A lot of people mentioned Jaron Hughley as well at quarterback. Like, this quarterback class is going to be really interesting. I agree. Like, Jaron Hughley is another one that I just think Rich Rod knows what works for him at quarterback. He's always known that. Go look at him over the years. Quarterback's typically not a position he goes without for more than a year. And had Scotty Fox had good players around him this year, maybe he would have had one this year. But we didn't have great players around him. We didn't have a good offensive line. We had no running backs. We had very few receivers. So what we were able to do with that, is so. And then you got to throw Scotty in the mix. Martavius Boswell, that just committed, is a name that I can't get over. I think he's a guy that's got a chance to push for the starting role next year. I've shown you guys this several times now. As an athlete, he's a freak show. He's a 4.3 guy, and it shows up on tape, and it's not close, right? Wait, that's not Martavius Boswell. My apologies. I may not have it anymore. No, I don't have it anymore. I apologize. That was the other guy from the other day. So anyways, I'll put Boswell's back up another time. But, we all saw it when I played it the other day. He's a guy that's just incredibly fast, right? And a guy that I think most fans would agree is, as far as explosive players go, maybe the most explosive player in his class right now. And I love his name too. He just sounds like one of those dudes that's dangerous, right? Martavius Boswell. Like, that's it just like Mario Alford. Oh no, I don't want to kick the ball to that guy, or Tavon Austin. I don't want to kick the ball to that guy. So, some guys just have those names. It's like, man, it just matches them. It matches how good they are. And that's kind of what I like about people. So, when it comes to players, anyway, I'm a guy that loves explosive, fast, jukey style type players. So, West Virginia currently has a few of those in this class, and a few of them are the quarterbacks, right? So, certainly a lot to like there. But yeah, Boswell is another big one. If I could go outside of him, man, I got to be honest, though, there are a couple guys. Caleb Gordon, we just signed him recently too, is an absolute just freak show in and of itself. By the way, I found the Boswell. I can't play it because of the music. Well, never mind again. So we were just talking about Caleb Gordon, and guys, he's probably one of the closest things to Fred Perry we're going to get. I love his tape a lot. If you get a chance to check his tape out, I love Caleb Gordon's tape. We just signed him, I want to say on the 24th, maybe a week 8-9 days ago now. He's out of Dallas, North Carolina. He's a linebacker. He's only about 6 feet tall, and he's only about 210, 215 pounds. But, man, he is a kid that when you look at him overall, what does he do well? Well, he attacks the ball. He sees ball. He hits ball. And it's impressive. So I think he can fill the Fred Perry role. I'm not saying he's going to be Fred Perry at all. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think that he can play in that role. So just my thing. So Mark Gardner, you said this a couple times, man. I wish you would respect my wishes, right? I go live twice a day, 7 days a week, right? That's a lot. That's more than anybody else in this space almost. There's probably somebody that does, right? But specifically West Virginia. Jackson is a young kid, and he is still learning the business. He also has a lot of getting better to do, and he would tell you that. He's got things he could be better at. And I bring him on here to try to help him, but also because a lot of people do like him, even if you don't, and I totally understand that you don't. I'm just asking you, man to man, if you can, for me and for others that do like him, it's not like he's on every show. He maybe comes on once or twice a week. Well, no, probably more like twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. And that's out of all the shows, that's not very many. So, I try to do to make everybody happy, but, and when he's on, it's mostly me talking anyways, right? He comes on and we just pick some games, right? Jackson's a really great kid, and he's been a staunch defender of mine too. And I'm just very loyal like that. So I appreciate you asking. And I understand that not everybody likes him, but I'm not one of those people that under pressure will fold for people. I just don't. If it was something I felt like it was honestly hurting the channel, then I would stop, obviously. But I am not one of those people that fold just because, 1 or 2 people don't like the kid. I mean, he's very young too. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes we just need to help people. All right, let's go to break. We'll come back and talk about what we're going to do next. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk a little about Neal Brown right after the break. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends at Game Time. And when it comes to Game Time, guys, did you know the World Cup is coming back to North America for the first time since 1994? And with 48 teams for the first time ever, it's going to be massive. But let's be honest, getting tickets is usually the hardest part. That's why the Game Time app is clutch. finally giving fans a real advantage when it comes to snagging seats. With Game Time, you can track price drops in real time. You can get alerts when great seats open and buy tickets when the moment they hit the app. Puts the power back in your hands and makes going to the World Cup realistic instead of impossible. You can pull up the app, and the layout makes it very simple for you to scroll through matchups and compare seat views. The seat view feature is a game changer. You literally see the pitch and what it looks like from your exact opposite seat or your exact seat before you buy. Alerts for teams and matches make it easy to grab tickets the moment they drop out instead of missing out. Take the guesswork out of buying World Cup tickets every match, concert, or event with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase where the terms apply. Again, that's download the app, make an account, use the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off, where you can swipe, tap, ticket, go download Game Time today, and find out that answer to the question of all questions. What time is it? It's game time. Segment 3. Thank you guys so much. I need another drink really quick, if you don't mind. Thank you guys for joining in. If you're just getting in here, I'll put it in there one more time. So in the chat is a link to a post that I made about my X account. It is me, even though it says Sniper Soul AI or whatever it is. If you could repost that with a help Paul or tag premium and tag whoever I tagged in the post, if you could tag them, that way they can just kind of get to it a little quicker. I'd like to have my X account back to be able to change the name back. That's really it. It's not that it's gone. It's just that they're reviewing it. And, sometimes you need to make yourself look like a priority. So, all right. Kurt Hurtley, what's up, brother? All right. So obviously Neal Brown, his name is being thrown around for some jobs here. So what I want to do is I've already got everything infrastructure ready for another show about Neal Brown. So what I thought I would do is, instead of just giving away all my thoughts on it now, we may as well just go ahead and end this one, and then we'll go live. And I know I say this before, and sometimes it's like 30 minutes or an hour. When I mean like 10 minutes, I mean 10 minutes. Like, all I have to do is end this video, add it to the podcasting element so I can get it out on podcast, and then I'll be right back. All I've got to do is create the live. I've got I've got the thumbnail ready. I've got all the background ready. So we can talk about Neal Brown and the situation going on there, because there is a lot to talk about. BYU and Kalani Sitake is another thing we could talk about. I'm just hesitant just because of some things that have, this is a West Virginia channel, and you guys remember I delved into some BYU content there for a while. I didn't get a great reaction from you guys, so I left it alone, right? So I do listen to you guys. You remember there was a time when I was doing like a lot of BYU content. But I didn't, at the end of the day, I love y'all, man. That's it. So, I'm not here to I love BYU people, but I started another channel, even though I can't get to it as much right now. But I started another channel that way I can, if I want to talk about something else, I can. Let's jump out of here. We'll be back at, let's say, 5:15 sharp. We'll talk about Neal Brown and the situation surrounding him, North Texas and Florida, because that could pop any minute. It could already pop while we're on here. Pete Nakos, Thamel have reported this. And when they get it, it's usually within either an hour to 2 or 24 hours, somewhere in that time window, the announcement's coming. So we needed to get on this so we can get a preview show and then a post react to it. We can get 2 out of this. We'll talk about it next. Guys, thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen. Big commit today for West Virginia and Jonas Muya. We're happy to have him on board. What a great quote from him. I'll read that one more time as we jump out of here. Today, I proudly announce my commitment to West Virginia football. Coming from far away, this represents a significant step towards the future I envision for myself. for the future I'm envisioning for myself. I faced numerous sacrifices and trials, including the pain of putting aside my first love for basketball, but I persevered and grew stronger as a result. Each obstacle has fueled my determination to achieve my goals. And with the honor and an unwavering resolve, I commit to West Virginia University. This is the next new chapter. Just take me home, West Virginia. One of the greatest quotes ever, for a commit coming to West Virginia for sure. And with that said, don't forget to make Locked On West Virginia your first listen, Locked On Big 12 and Direct 12 your second listen, and keep coming back as we are here every single day talking about the Mountaineers. Don't forget to cue those country roads, and we'll be right back with Neal Brown.